Ghost wrapped in broken skin, wreckage of a life I could never hold. Earth was a weight, a poison garden. Its air thick with debts unpaid, its roads endless loops of regret, paved over dreams too fragile to survive. So I climbed into my capsule, my sanctuary, my confession booth. Metal walls hugged me tighter than any arms I'd ever known. The launch was violent. A fireborn scream that tore me from the clutches of gravity's cruel embrace. And for the first time, I felt light. Out here, the stars are moons piercing the black fabric of space, bleeding light in silence. I stare at them through the porthole, wondering if they feel as distant as I do. Below, Earth shrinks to a marble, spinning blue lies wrapped in white clouds. Its problems too small to follow me. Or so I thought. You can't outrun yourself, not even an escape velocity. This capsule hums a lullaby of machinery that sings to no one. My thoughts stretch like shadows across the empty cabin, whispering, mocking. They are ghosts stowed away in the bulkhead, reminding me that space isn't silent. It's loud with ornaments. I brought a photo, a token of what I left behind. Their faces stare back at me, smiling in a way that feels impossible now. As if they knew all along that I'd end up here, lost in a void I thought I avoided. The capsule trembles, and I realize it isn't turbulence. It's me. I came here for freedom, to unshackle myself from the chains of the mundane, but this isn't freedom, it's exile. The stars don't care about my sorrow. They've seen it before. They've watched a million Spaceman launch himself into the abyss, thinking they could find peace in the absence of gravity. When all they found was the weight of their own minds, and heavier than any planet. The air takes thinner every day. The oxygen gauge ticks down, counting the seconds to an ending I chose and yet dread. I tell myself it's poetic, a man escaping life's cruel orbit only to collide with himself. But there's no poetry here, just the cold logic of order, the truth that nothing escapes, not even light. I dream sometimes, if you can call it dreaming. I see Earth not as it is, but as it could have been. A place where the streets weren't prisons, where love wasn't the currency that you valued with time. In my dreams, I'm happy. In my dreams, I never built this capsule. But dreams are cruel. They dissolve upon waking, leaving me with nothing but the sterile hum of this cabin. Count the bolts and walls, a trace of the seams of the control panel. I speak aloud just to hear my own voice. Proof that I hadn't just disappeared into the black. One day, this game will hit zero. The air will thin until it's gone. And I'll be free in the only way that matters. Until then, I drift. A man in an alien space capsule, running from a life that I couldn't fix towards a nothingness I can't understand. If anyone finds this, this message, this capsule, this shell of a man.